I've only made 2 videos about Artificer, and that was 2 years ago. So let's talk about Artificer, specifically Artillerist. This one's really fun because you literally get a magical cannon that goes kaboom. Welcome to Pack Tactics, where I'm the Kobold inventor. Like all Artificer subclasses, they get an additional tool proficiency at level 3, either in Woodcarver's tools or another type of Artisan's tool, if you already have that proficiency. By default, this doesn't do a whole lot, but with Sanathars you can repair some stuff, I guess. I highly recommend reading Pandaniel's Guide to Tools on tabletop builds if you want to know all the details. Moving on, they also get a subclass specific domain spell list. What I mean by that is they get to prepare them for free. The heavy hitters here are Shield, Shatter, Fireball, Firewall, Cone of Cold, and Wall of Force. I would say that the damaging spells come a bit late, but they're still good. And Wall of Force is one of the best spells ever, even though it comes super late, it's still super useful when you get it. And Shield, you're obviously going to use this all the time. And finally we get to the Eldritch Cannon, the reason why you picked this subclass. You've learned how to create a magical cannon using Woodcarver's tools or Smith's tools. You can take an action to magically create a small or tiny Eldritch Cannon in an unoccupied space on a horizontal surface within 5 feet of you. A small Eldritch Cannon occupies its space, and a tiny one can be held in one hand. Once you create a cannon, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, or until you expend a spell slot to create one. You can have only one cannon at a time, and you can't create one while your cannon is present. It has 18 AC, 5 times your level in HP, it's immune to poison and psychic damage, and you can heal it for 2d6 HP with the Mending cantrip. Though it disappears when it reaches 0 HP, or after an hour, or if you dismiss it early. Protector is the reason this subclass is good. It was the Twilight Cleric before the Twilight Cleric. As a bonus action, you can give creatures near the cannon 1d8 plus your intelligence modifier temporary hit points. That is fantastic. Out of combat, you just spam it until you roll an 8. In combat, you just spam it because you got nothing else to do with your bonus action, probably. This is almost always the best choice, but maybe your party is very into forced movement and has great synergy, which could force it over the edge. Then Force Ballista is for you. This is a ranged spell attack that does 2d8 force damage and a 5-foot push. The range is 120 feet. And finally you have the Flamethrower. While it's the best damaging option by itself, it's AoE, but the cone itself is 15 feet and you deal fire damage. Don't get me wrong, like fire damage is really good, but it is the most resisted element. But what's really holding this back from being good is the cone. The cone needs to be bigger. It just isn't very good compared to the other options. Usually I would go for Protector as it's incredibly good, but sadly it only lasts an hour until you have to spend a spell slot to use it again. The good news is this is much stronger than most first level spells. The bad news is you're a half caster, but still, this is worth casting. Lastly, and this is pretty important actually, when you create the cannon, you determine its appearance and whether it has legs. First of all, flavor is free. Second, the legs. On each of your turns, you can take a bonus action to cause the cannon to activate if you are within 60 feet of it. As part of that same bonus action, you can direct the cannon to walk or climb up 15 feet to an unoccupied space, provided it has legs. With the tiny option, it can climb your shoulder and then you've got like a shoulder cannon from Predator. I'm actually lying now, it goes against the rules, it counts as an occupied space. But most DMs will let you do this, from at least my experience. It's just fun flavor. I've never seen Predator, have you, Gator? Kobold! If it bleeds, we can kill it! By the way, dice time! That's correct! Only Crits is having a Black Friday sale. All orders are 20% off right now. That's if you use the code BFCM23. Yeah! Look how pretty they are! Shiny! And they come in all kinds of shapes and materials. Some of these dice have backstories too. If you collect enough of these dice, you can have your own dragon horde. Kobold! Kobold! I want to become a dragon! Then you better start buying. I recommend starting out with the Dragon Eye set because you get 6 set of dice just like that. Or you can go with the Black Friday special mystery dice set subscription. That's 40% off. If you use the code MysteryBox35, you get an additional 35% off the first order. Holy moly! And that's not all. You can unlock free adventures every day. Hamlet of Wolford should be available right now. That's a Christmas gift for your DM. That's actually a really good idea, Gator. I think the mystery dice set would actually make a great Christmas present for your table in general. You guys have probably been playing together for months or even years. Get them something nice that's not a pizza for once. I highly recommend you check them out, and if you like what you see, get some dice yourself. Use the code PACKTACTICS for a 12% discount, or 20 if Black Friday is still active. You better hurry. Better start optimizing. Back to the video. At level 5, you get Arcane Firearm. I think it's more useful for multiclassing because it makes the spellcasting requirements for Artificer become a little less annoying. It also makes Artificer spells, including the AoE damage spells, more useful, as you in a way get to upcast them by 1 level with your firearm for free. Or at least close to. It says you get a D8 bonus. Even though it's really simple, I do kind of like this feature. Next, at level 9, you get Explosive Cannon. This is sadly not great. The flamethrower is still the worst option. At best, it makes Force Ballista a bit more competitive to the Protector option. The detonation is almost never worth it. It's close to a ribbon feature. This feature is not strong enough to be level 9. And finally, at level 15, they get Fortified Position. You and your allies get half cover while within 10 feet of the Eldritch Cannon. That means +2 to AC and Dex saving throws. You also get to have 2 cannons up at the same time, activating them with 1 bonus action. The 2 that you should summon heavily depends on the situation, but it's likely the Force Ballista together with the Protector. Maybe your party likes to spread out in fights. That will make 2 Protectors a lot better. Overall, I really like this subclass. It's got a lot of cool ideas, and I remember when this came out, I was like, oh, I really want to play this. And I did, and I had fun. But it has some problems. You have to take your party into account before going for it, as the subclass is not that strong as you think. It is a blaster. Blasting is really good, and this has really good spells. But the problem is you're a half caster, and you get those spells super late. And if you already have a temp HP generator in the party, like someone with Inspiring Leader or Twilight Cleric and so on, then I don't recommend playing this subclass. As for how I would play an Artificer like this, I would likely want at least 6 levels for that 3rd infusion to get a set of bagpipes. From there, I would go straight wizard. Kobold, what do you mean by bagpipes? Pipes of Haunting is super strong. 3 charges, action to cause each creature within 30 feet of you to become frightened for 1 minute. This is a DC 15 wisdom save. There is a repeat save, but still, all those things I named are insanely good. Anyways, I do recommend a level in Hexblade Warlock because a pack slot would make Eldritch Cannon a short rest resource. Though a particularly funky alternative is 2 levels in Undead Warlock for its fear effect. With a headband of intelligence, it ensures that you have both a high charisma and high intelligence. That might be too funky though, so be warned, I might be memeing you. I haven't put too much thought into the undead routes, you can tell me in the comments. Anyways, end the video. If you want to see a complete guide on Artificer, check out Tabletop Builds. And you can also check out their basic builds, that one is good too. Anyways, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to support me on Patreon, you can. Thank you for watching. By the way, I almost forgot. Don't forget about the Black Friday sale. Time's ticking. Bye-bye.